Okay, hey, how's it going, everybody? Episode 5 of the Eric and Brad Show. The Eric and Brad Show, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com, Eric and Brad Show at gmail.com. How's it going, man?
Good, dude. How you doing?
Good.
You almost got the intro down to like a script read.
Probably too much like a script read.
I'm gonna have to start taking over some of them. I swear to God, that was almost identical to the last two.
Yeah. Well, fucking audio bullshit.
Are we having issues?
No, it's just me. It's just me. You're
Oh
good.
no. So how was the week, man?
It was okay. Fucking somehow in the middle of the night last night, I managed to cut my foot open.
Oh no.
Like I woke up and fucking like jammed my foot into the wall and it hurt really bad. And I went back to sleep, and then a couple hours later I woke up again and my foot was hurting really bad and it felt like there was blood, so I got up and there was just like blood all over the floor because my
Oh
foot
no.
hanging off the bed and just down to the floor. So then at like 3 a.m, I had to make like a fucking foot bandage, and now I'm just limping around my house. It's fucking really weird.
Well, that's good that your foot wasn't in the bed, because that would
Yeah.
suck.
Luckily, it was hanging off the edge of the bed.
Does it usually hang off the edge of the bed?
Yeah.
Are you that? I don't. You're not that tall, are you? Or you just got a tiny bed?
It's California King.
Dude, maybe I'm high and I'm forgetting how tall you are. I feel like you are not that much taller than me.
No, like 5'10".
And your feet hang over the bed with a California King.
Yeah, maybe I don't sleep all the way up to the other edge. I don't know.
I've never had that issue.
Well, luckily, that's what the issue was last night when I was trying to bleed out in my sleep and
Ah.
kill myself.
I do want to apologize anybody that's listening for last week. Yeah, that audio is totes my fault, and I'm a piece of shit. But we promise you it'll never happen again. Now we're doing a sound check before a third-party sound check, so guaranteed that the audio will record perfect. So sorry, guys, that did suck balls, and it is all my fault because I'm a piece of shit.
And there's a conspiracy theory going around that it was intentional sabotage to try to win some $50 back. To just completely like silence the other podcast partner.
Yeah, just like I can't hear you, buddy. Fuck. Well, yeah. Anything else new this week? How'd work go?
It was fine.
Yeah, you seemed kind of like a grumpy panda. Is that anything
No,
to talk about?
I'm just trying to wake up and fucking, I don't know. No, I'm good.
Boom. Well, I'll tell you what. My week has been absolutely fucked. Like, so bad. I had to switch over to night shift this week. So I've been working from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., which sucks either way.
Oh,
But I'll pull a picture up real quick.
night shift before, it's just like you're amongst the zombies and not amongst the humans.
So that isn't even like, I hate that to begin with, but that's not even the issue. The real issue is why the fuck can't I do this? Okay, there we go. The real issue is this motherfucker. So I had to switch over. Yeah, so we get there. We close that fucking bridge down. You see the bridge on the screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you see my mouse too? You see where my mouse is?
Yes.
So yeah, like right here, a fucking truck, a semi truck came through. This is in Cascade Locks, Oregon. This is the Columbia River.
Hell yeah.
A truck came through and fucking nailed one of these posts right here, these horizontal beams right here, and fucked it all up. And like, it's fine, but my company's coming in and fixing and fixing that overhead beam. So we get there at night, we close the bridge down, and then we take man lifts out there, and it's a see-through bridge. So it's the grating that you can just see through, which is terrifying to begin with. We're about 120 feet in the air, and we have to take these fucking man lifts and go outside of the fucking bridge. And dude, it is the most terrifying thing I've ever done, hands down, in my life. The last 40 hours of work week time, I've been shaking. Like, so then I can't sleep when I get home. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. So then it's kind of sucked for like everything, dude. I'm like grumpy when I get home. Like any preparation for the show, I don't want to do because I'm fucking scared out of my mind. I just think about quitting my job all week. I don't need to be here. Fuck this. Fuck everything. Like, it's been miserable. It's been absolutely miserable.
Because you're like, this is not worth my life.
This is not worth my life. And I'm scared shitless. Anybody that isn't watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on a streaming service, podcast streaming service, it's not the biggest bridge in the world, but it's fucking big. Like, it's about 125 feet in the air. It's over the Columbia fucking River, which is a massive river. And then just imagine doing it at night. Actually, doing it at night, I think, is helping it be less scary because I can't fucking see anything. I mean, you kind of can see the water, but I'm assuming if I could see everything, it would be even scarier because you're just like, oh shit, yes, this is how I am. And then I had one on yesterday. I'd have you ever used the man basket lift?
Yes, I don't like them.
So on the ground, I don't mind them at all. But so you know how like sometimes if you get too high in them, like if you boom up and get too extended, you can't walk anymore. Like the machine, the safety feature allows you to where you can't walk. So yesterday I get in this position where, I'm doing everything I can not to go outside of the bridge, but at some points we have to go out, like boom out. And oh my God, that's the worst. That is the fucking worst, is when you have to do that. So I do it, and there's like the little triangles where you have to like weasel through and then come out. And the way I got into this certain position is I fucking boom out, and then I crawl into position, and then fucking do my work, and then it was just the geometry of how you get to that position. But yeah, yesterday I get out there, do what I need to do, and I'm trying to get back out, and then my machine won't let me crawl out where I had crawled into. So I'm like stuck. Like I couldn't, I was boomed in all the way, and fucking I couldn't get the man basket closer to the machine anymore. But now I'm like stuck outside the bridge because it won't fucking crawl. Like crawl out of it and pull out. Oh, dude, I had a fucking meltdown. I freaked the fuck out.
So is it over now?
No, because everything we fucking did, we literally had to tear it all apart because it wasn't working. So that beam and the two horizontal or the two vertical legs that come off that beam, they had them prefabbed, completely prefabbed. So every bolt hole in it was already pre-drilled.
Right.
And it didn't fit together. The plates like that hold the horizontal beam and that, they're like a half inch out. And they obviously don't want you drilling more holes like next to holes, because that kind of defeats the purpose of, the strength of these plates, even though it would be fine. We have people there, inspectors, like watching us do our work, and they're not going to allow us to just start willy-nilly drilling holes all over the place. You know what I mean? Fucking. So no, we stood it all up and just tore it all back down. So now next week I'm going to have to do the same fucking thing all over again.
It's ridiculous.
And now what's worse is now the bosses are getting pissed. You know what I mean? Because they're, what should have been done in a week is now taking 2 weeks. So now you're getting rushed on top of being scared shitless.
Right. Oh, that's so lame. It's not your fault, but fucking hanging off a bridge over water. Fuck
yeah,
that.
I know it's not my fault at all. If it was up to me, I wouldn't be doing this at all. I fucking hate it. And then, of course, like, you bring it up to the boss man, and fucking, they're like, oh, you bring your fucking purse to work? You know what I mean? It's like, fuck you, man. It's real easy for you to talk while you're sitting in your truck, you fucking asshole,
Right. Jeez, dude. Come to North Dakota. There's no river.
I know. Yeah. The cold sounds better than doing. I'll deal with 40 below before I'll do that fucking bridge again.
Damn. Fuck that. I hear you. At least you're walking around on the ground.
Yeah.
So we got an email. Should I read it?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
Ugh. Ugh.
All right, I'm gonna read it.
Okay, go for it, buddy.
Okay, this is from Soyer. I think that he's okay with us saying that. Anyway, here the email says, just to clear it up, I think the Reddit questions are a good thing. I liked the question from episode 2, but not the question from episode 3, just to clear that up. What I didn't like about episode 3 Reddit question was that it's an open-ended question that has no relation to relevancy or anything but people's imagination. With the point, I only bring it up because I asked 30 people the same question with the chickens, and counting you guys, only 5 people cared to elaborate. It's just my input. Still continue with the Reddit questions. I really enjoy every show, and I tell and or share to everyone that enjoys podcasts to watch, listen, like, and subscribe. Keep it up. Love, Sawyer, your guys' #1 fan.
Boom. Thank you, Sawyer. I love you, buddy.
If he wants to claim that title of #1 fan, I mean, right now I have no argument against that.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. I guess we can continue with the Reddit questions.
That was from last week when Erick said that a listener hated the Reddit questions and liked the story. Sawyer wanted to clarify it was just one specific question.
I'm just slowly trying to sabotage Brad, make him look worse and worse every week.
Right. Anyway, erickandbradshaw@gmail.com if anyone wants to email.
Yeah, and any like, share, anything like that is greatly appreciated. We would love it, and we love you guys.
That last episode was probably our most viewed yet.
And it was just last night I got some shit for that. Like, dude, literally it's just you talking for fucking 45 minutes, and I'm just like, that's not how it's supposed to be.
I mean, on the re-listen, I enjoyed it.
Well,
you
good.
Went fucking deep. That was good.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I mean, maybe every once in a while we do something like that, instead of just topic, we like really focus on a topic and get balls deep into it.
Yeah, I did that before, and it turned out to be a highly viewed episode on a former podcast I did. There's this case about this girl, Maura Murray, and there's this huge podcast and all these TV shows based on her disappearance, the disappearance of Maura Murray. And I got sucked into it for 2 weeks where I was doing all my own research, and I got these 4 pages of notes, basically like you did, and developed my own theory and stuff, and then just completely the whole episode and went through this whole timeline of events. This is when she crashed her car. This is when she left. This is her last phone call. This is where the car got impounded, the last person to see her. And I went over this whole thing. So it's sometimes fun to just dive into something like that and fucking just let yourself go deep on it until you get it out of your system. And then you can just move on.
Fuck. Maybe we should use that one because I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you didn't look happy about that.
I mean, maybe, or pick a different case or something. Okay.
Can you give a real quick gist of what that was? Because now I'm interested in what you're talking about.
It was in 02 or 03, and I know you know how you said with Vince, his memory is so good with recalling the facts and stuff. Mine's not like that. Anyway, it's 02 or 03. This girl that was going to college in Massachusetts. She left her college and drove up into the mountains. Nobody really knows why. There's a bunch of theories and stuff. This is before a lot of cell phones and internet as they are today. And she crashed her car and disappeared. Right?
No body ever found. Nothing.
Nope. Mm-mm.
But I'm assuming there's more to that story.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories.
It was February. It was very cold. It was snowing. And it was, so the theories are was she abducted? Did she plan this to basically not fake her own death, but I guess fake her disappearance? Did she crash the car and hit her head and start walking, aimlessly into the woods? How far would she have gotten in those temperatures? Based on these things found in her car, which could she have been intoxicated? This bus driver stopped by the car crash and talked to her. Yeah, that was the last person that saw her alive. And then he went to his house, which she crashed right in front of his house. But that guy has since passed away. Let's look at all the fucking Google image maps around where this car crash was, and look at the houses nearby, the roads.
Was there a reason for why she would kill her? Why she would try to fake her own death? Was she running away from debt or something like that?
See, it's hard to remember. I mean, she might have gotten in a huge argument with her dad before that. People say that she might have been going to meet an abusive ex-boyfriend. I don't know. It's there's a great podcast called The Disappearance of Maura Murray or something like that. And then at the impound lot, there was a rag found in the tailpipe of her car, and it was which that's just fucking real crazy. But it's did somebody perhaps see her at a gas station before she got up there and followed her and waiting for an opportune time, and then she crashed her car and then they moved in, something it's real. It's just, you can go deep on those fucking cold cases that never got solved. And then there's it kind of took over the internet, all these armchair detectives, they call them. So every year on the anniversary of the crash, a bunch of people meet there where the crash happened, and there's a giant ribbon on the tree, and someone gives a speech, and it's they still want to find what happened to Maura Murray. And I don't know, it's just, I went deep on it.
Huh. Yeah. Never heard that. I don't think I've heard that name.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. Okay, so do you want me to just dive into this Reddit question?
Let's do it.
Okay,
throw it at me.
Just going to be a little short story from me, but I didn't give you any time to prep with this.
That's
which
fine.
I probably should have.
I think it's better when things just come at you. That's my plan from now on. Is I want to do as much just throwing shit at you, because I think the responses are better than a predetermined response.
Yeah, and I like doing it that way personally. Although this is more of a story thing instead of an opinion. And oh shit, hang on, let me look at it on my phone. My phone, which is going crazy right now. So I just grabbed this one, and the question is just, what was the creepiest thing you saw while visiting someone at their house? Okay.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess maybe this one you should have fucking given me. Okay, that makes more sense.
Because it's not an opinion. But I didn't want to, think about, you found some fucking sex toy or some crazy meth pipe or something, it reminded me of this time in high school. So now
wait, hold it before you go off real quick. What you just said, are you saying you don't want me to say something like that? Is that because I'm assuming while you're explaining what you're thinking, I'm going to be trying to come up with what my answer is?
Yeah. If you have an answer, you don't need to have an answer.
I'm saying meth pipes are off the table.
Just for me, I didn't want to think of what's the, I guess, I don't know. I just wanted to tone it down a little. Then what's the most embarrassing or shocking thing? Just something that was kind of creepy.
Okay. Throw it at me. I'm Go ahead and give me yours.
In high school, it was probably freshman year, right? And I say that because it was the more innocent times of high school. So it was kind of the times of high school where it was let's a bunch of dude friends get together and bring Xboxes and play video games kind of time. If it was 3 or 4 years in the future of that, it would have been much different. Anyway, I had this friend, and we'll just say very Buddhist friend, okay? Very Buddhist family. And we would go, me and my buddy John would go over to this kid's house, and we would just stay up all night playing Halo. right?
Perfect. Yep.
And there was nobody else at his house when we would go and hang out. Like his parents, we didn't really even know the family situation that much, but it was like this big, rich house. And we would just go over there, hang out with this kid, and bring Xboxes, play Halo, order pizza, and stay up all night and maybe watch a movie. Anyway, we were over there, and it was like you'd walk in. When you walked into the house, you'd be on the middle floor. Then there was a floor below that and a floor above that. So we would just hang out on this middle floor. But the bathroom was on the lower floor.
Okay.
And so we were all hanging out in the middle floor in the living room, and I had to go to the bathroom. And it's like kind of maybe getting close to the middle of the night. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And this is totally my fault. I go downstairs, go to the bathroom, come out of the bathroom, and I see this room down a hallway that the door's open and there's like white light coming through. So instead of going back upstairs to rejoin my friends, I wandered down the hallway to see what was in this room that had like light coming out of it.
Okay.
I'm walking down the hallway, and I like turn and step into the room, and I put one foot in the room, and there's a guy in the room, in the middle of the room, sitting there with his eyes closed in a chair, like an older Asian man.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I just freeze. And I'm like not breathing. And then I like slowly back out of the room and like race back upstairs. And the room was just like completely white, and it had like artificial grass, like at a mini golf fucking thing. And I was like, and I go up to him and I'm like, dude, what the fuck was that? And he's like, dude, that was my uncle. And I'm like, and he's mad at me. He's like, dude, why would you do that? Do you realize what would have happened if you would have like stopped him from meditating, like woken up, broken his meditation? And I'm like, dude, why wouldn't you tell us that there's somebody else here? Right? It was fucking for me.
That sounds fucking weird. That
very weird. And me and this guy are like 2 to 3 feet away from each other. And apparently he was in a deep meditation, some Buddhist thing. And I was just like, holy shit, dude.
The thing that trips me out more than anything is like the layout of the room. I just picture a room with fake fucking grass. Like, what are you talking about? Who would do that? No pictures, like not a shrine of like a sorts on the wall.
No.
Huh.
And it was all white, and there was white light, and it was just like one of those plastic white shitty chairs.
Oh, like a lawn chair?
Yeah, but not like a lawn chair, you know what I mean? Not like a foldable chair.
Just one that you'd stack up. A stackable lawn chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
He's mad at me, and I'm mad at him. I'm like, dude, why didn't you here? We've been here for 6 hours now. We're staying the night here. And he's like, why would you go in there? Why? Good thing you didn't break his meditation, dude. He's just like, good thing you didn't break his meditation. I'm like, oh my God. But it is my fault for wandering off the path, right? And fucking looking around.
Yeah, I would say you're 1 for 1 there. You could both be upset with that one.
Exactly.
I mean, you're kids. You're going to wander through a house.
Pretty much.
Okay, I came up with one. Fucking I came up with one, but I changed it right at the end there. It reminded me of something. This is a little different, but I think it's kind of funny.
Because mine was like the creepiest thing I found in someone else's house was another person.
So I can't think of it. I can't think of that question exactly, but I can think of people coming into my house and it turning into a huge fucking ordeal. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was decent friends with a few seniors. Josh Trout, man, I don't even know if I could remember all these kids' names. But we threw this, like, my parents went to Las Vegas and they took the fifth wheel. So
Jesus.
I'm gonna lay out. Okay, so all these kids come out over to my house. Like, there was like 8 or 10 of us. We fucking play beer pong all night. We're just doing like high school bullshit party. You know what I mean? It wasn't like crazy. But for a sophomore in high school, it was crazy for me. You know what I mean? It was like fucking just badass. I got all these seniors at my house. We're partying. You know, I felt like the coolest kid ever. But anyways, they all come over to my house. So I'm like, trying to, impress these people, essentially. Like they're all older than me. And fucking yeah, they come over. So that now let me lay out my parents a little bit for you. So my parents are very clean. I've always grew up in a nice house. Like just always, my mom is a fucking clean freak. And my mom is obsessed with cowboys and Indians. Like that's their theme kind of the house. You know what I mean? Like the pictures are always cowboy-esque and there's, you know, bows and arrows like hung up on the wall, like, decorative shit. So if you go into my parents' bedroom growing up in high school, is first off, like my mom is a decent looking woman. I now she's getting old, but in high school I would get shit a lot for like friends making fun of me for, my mom being hot or what it was just a joke, you know what I mean? Like that whole deal.
Okay.
So all these kids come over, at least a few of them have seen my mom before. So there's already this kind of like running joke about my mom being hot. So
Right.
then if you go into my parents' bedroom, they had the mirror bed, which was fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Like the 4-post bed, and then on top of the 4-post bed is a mirror. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yes.
So
This is like,
already,
yeah.
so already it's like it's as soon as anybody saw that, whenever they came over, what the fuck is going on in there? And just like, oh my God. Like, yeah, they got the mirrors above the bed. Like, but so these kids come over, like one of them goes in the room and then he gets everyone. He's like, guys, everyone get the fuck in this room right now. And like, I'm like, oh God damn it. And then so all these kids go in my parents' room and are like laughing, checking it all out. So at the edge of the bed, like if you were laying in that bed and looking like at your feet, what they had done is they took a TV and they'd hang it from the edge of the bed. You know what I mean? It would be like they'd hang it, they like mounted it up on the bed, and then it would so you'd be laying there in bed and the TV was just right at your feet essentially.
And
And they
this is
did
a
it.
box TV.
It was an older TV, but it was a pretty small TV. It was like this, it wasn't that big. But what
Wow.
they would do is they took that TV and then they would put it in the fifth wheel when we'd go on vacation and stuff like that. So when you would go into my parents' room when the TV wasn't there, there's just chains hanging from the fucking into the bed. And then just to get back to the cowboy theme, is my mom used to do this is gonna man, this all just sounds horrible. My mom used to do leather. Like in the 70s, my mom was super into making leather.
I'm sure
And
she.
so I don't know if you start looking up a leather horse on Google so you can pull that up. I don't know exactly what it's called. But anyways, my mom's always carried this, like one of our older antique items from the house was like it's this leather horse thing you like sit on and you use your feet to like clamp this thing in front of you and it allows you to like work on leather, but it kind of looks like a horse. All right, I don't know if you're getting any pictures of it.
I see. I'm getting pictures
um
of horses wearing leather.
no, a leather a horse. Word it somehow like a leather table horse. I don't know how you're gonna word that, but um I don't want to start looking up because then I'll get distracted from the story and not keep telling the story. But anyways, they have this leather horse thing. It's just you sit on it. It's just this little kind of workbench thing, and then it has this thing that comes up in front of you. Um so that top left, see the very top left?
This.
So that's what's I'm not seeing a picture of what it is, but that's what's in front of you. Like you sit on this horse thing, like you straddle this table, and then in front of you is that thing. Like it sticks like kind of in between your legs. And then
Okay.
so you I'm not it's funny that I'm not seeing a picture of that. But that clamp thing, that's a leather thing.
Oh,
Wait, yeah. That thing. So a different version of that, like an antique version of what that guy's sitting on.
okay.
Um, a little bit different of a design, but it looks more like a horse. And so, but what my mom had done is, so that's a piece of like art in her room. You know what I mean? And then she also had a really like an old saddle, like for a horse that she had sat over that. So, and on the saddle, as like a piece of art in her room, she had a whip, that an old antique whip that fucking attached to the saddle. So if you walked in my parents' room, you saw the mirrors, you saw the chains hanging down, then you saw a saddle with a fucking whip on it. Yeah, I didn't live that shit down for years. Like, I mean, that's essentially the end of the story. I know that's a little bit different of a twist to that Reddit question, but
So
yeah,
did a
that was
kid just
people.
did a kid just wander in there?
Yeah, of course. You know, just they're being assholes. They're just like checking all the shit out and just wandered in there and then got everyone else to come in and check this out. And they're like, dude, Beeves' parents are fucking weird, bro. They're just like, come check this out.
Oh, that is pretty weird. Fuck.
Yeah, I was embarrassed over that for fucking years. So I think this is a good time for us to do a little commercial break deal. And I'm just gonna pause. I can't tell you how many times I've nicked it just a little too short. I mean, yesterday I was meeting with a friend. We sat down at a restaurant. We get to talking, and the next thing you know, we're wondering when it's going to all go down. Are you ready for a Zionist-occupied government? I know I'm not. You have enough to worry about. You don't need to get fooled by some undercover Zionist-loving POS ATF agent. So today's episode is brought to you by Handy Randy Weaver's Shotgun Measuring Stick. Never fall victim to any Zionist-created laws about the length of your barrel. This easy-to-use, one-size-fits-all carbon fiber measuring stick made in the USA in an all-white factory in eastern Montana with a workforce dedicated to no mixed linens, no beard trims, and most importantly, no bullshit patriots. Man, I can't tell you how much I love my Handy Randy shotgun measuring stick. I just used mine before the show, and I know none of my shotguns are a quarter inch too short. It just helps me sleep better at night knowing my family is safe. So order today at www.handyrandystick.com and use promo code ZOG when checking out for a 15% discount. Every Weaver stick comes with an 18-month money-back guarantee. I love mine, and I know you'll love yours. So don't wait any longer to see how long you need to be. Again, that's handyrandystick.com, ZOG in the promo box, and sleep better knowing U.S. Marshals won't be knocking on your door. Okay, and we're back.
So, some things I watched this week that are good. I watched Dave on Hulu. Very good TV show. Very funny. Takes a couple episodes to get in, but it's very good. I watched the movie The Way Back. Very good Ben Affleck basketball movie. A lot of drink.
Movie?
What?
New movie?
Yeah, new movie. I was waiting for it to come out into theaters, and then the whole COVID thing happened, so it just went straight to the online, which kind of sucked. But it was fucking good, dude. It is a good basketball movie where he's like a complete drunk alcoholic basketball coach. And then I've got into this show Succession, which I've been hearing about for about a year now, and then finally dove into it. HBO. There's 2 seasons. Hour-long episodes. Excellent fucking show. I'm right at the end of season 1, and because I killed like 8 hour-long episodes yesterday. And
what's the show called again?
Succession.
Succession? What's
Succession.
it
HBO.
on? HBO? I do not have HBO.
It's not TV. It's HBO.
Oh.
And that's a fucking great show. And there's like a comfort in knowing you're in the middle of a good show. There's a comfort in knowing you're in the middle of a good show, because the other day I sat down to watch something and I started one movie, watched 5 minutes, backed out. I was like, fuck, this movie fucking sucks. Started another movie, backed out after 5 minutes. I'm like, started a show, just picked a random episode of a show, backed out again, and was like, I just can't find anything right now, and got up. But then once you're in the middle of a show and you know, like tonight when I sit down, I just know right where I'm going and I'm looking forward to it. There's a comfort in that. I'm
You know,
sorry.
yeah, that I've never thought about it that way, but you're absolutely right. There is a comfort in that. It's funny. Last night I went through that. I sat down. I was trying to stay up all night. I sat down, turned on TV, and I was like bummed. I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck to watch. Like, fuck, I hate this. And especially when you have like multiple streaming apps. So then you like are sitting there at the streaming app, like, which one do I want to sit and cycle through for 10 minutes to see if I can find something? And I'm like getting depressed, and I like click on Netflix. And then the second I click on Netflix, I realize that I'm already in the middle of a series. And I'm like, oh, yes. And I got so happy. Again, like the relief of like, yes, I'm in the middle of one that I really like. And
Right.
so it's funny that you bring that up because I wanted to bring up Devs. Have you ever heard of that?
Dev?
Devs.
No.
It's on FX, but they're streaming it on Hulu.
Okay.
It's with Nick Offerman. You know who Nick Offerman is?
Yeah.
But it's like a serious show. He's like a serious character. It's fucking awesome. My buddy turned me onto it, and the thing that like I watched the first episode, and it's like it's weird. It's like odd the way they shoot it. It's kind of slow. One of those shows. I don't know. Like it kind of reminds you of like a Black Mirror vibe. Like not like this. Yeah, it's kind of a Black Mirror vibe going on. Like but a little bit better shot, like cinematography wise. But the thing that a kid was telling me, I watched the first episode, I was like kind of on the fence about it, but then he explained to me, he's like, no, keep watching it. He's like, he explained I should have wrote the director's name down, but I guess the director, he only does one season shows. Like that's his niche. Is he won't do more than a season. And I was like, I'm fucking sold. Because there's nothing I hate more than getting into a show and it never fucking stops. I feel like that's what's going to happen with that Netflix one, the one where the family's running drug money, the Ozark or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm super into Ozark, and I just feel like this show is going to start going fucking downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just. I hate that. I hate when writers just keep writing and keep writing and writing. It's just like fucking end it. They've ruined so many shows, like Weeds. You know what I mean? I thought Weeds was a great show, and they just kept writing it. It's like, you fucking idiots. Like, just wrap it up in 3 seasons. Let's get this show done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be happy that you had a show that got one good season out of it. Fucking like Spartacus. Did you ever watch Spartacus? I loved Spartacus because, I mean, one, it's a historical, they obviously fucking manipulate a bunch of shit, but they kind of stick to the story of Spartacus.
Yeah.
Fucking love that show. And it's like they could have stopped season 1, and they did keep going, but they only did 3 seasons, I believe. But even just season 1, it is wham bam done, fucking end. So I have 1 episode left on Devs. I would highly recommend it. Fucking I could see how some people wouldn't like it, but I'm balls deep. It's sci-fi a little bit. Yeah, I would suggest it if you have Hulu.
Yeah, it says Alex Garland is the director. Created by, written by, directed by.
Yeah. Supposedly, I don't know anything about that guy, but my buddy was telling me that guy's like kind of famous for that.
You could probably make a big argument. Anyone who ever gave a fuck about the show Lost, which I never even finished, but that show just completely exhausted itself.
Same thing, dude. The list of shows that do that is 99.9 compared to, like, it is hard pressed to find a show that has the integrity to just fucking end it when it's right, do proper and just write it out, not just like get to the end of a season like, well, what can we do next to just fucking ride this gravy train? Like, fuck you Hollywood for doing that. You're fucking assholes. They Lost as a perfect example. That's like when this all started. Well, I mean, no. But like when the series thing started, where series became like better than movies, and it wasn't just sitcoms. Right. And they wrote this really good story. The first season of Lost is fucking amazing. It's so good, especially for its time. Maybe it hasn't sat as well. I don't know. Like, I haven't watched it in forever, but I remember being balls deep into that in high school.
Yeah. No.
And then they just ruined it.
It probably could have been a one and done season of a show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Yeah, like Breaking Bad did it well. They did like 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah. Even then, though, that show, I lost it at about season 3. I was like, it's just, it's just too much. You know what I mean? It's just, they're going so far with it. Just, I know a lot of people love that show, but I gave up about season 3. It was just like, I'm fucking done with this. I never finished it.
Yeah, this Succession show is like it's like a very rich family. This like 80-year-old dad who the first episode starts on his 80th birthday, and he owns this like media conglomerate like a Fox News, and all of his 4 rich, very spoiled, entitled kids are like, one's the CEO, one's the COO, the daughter's like the strategist, and there's like another kid, and there's like 4 kids that are in his company, and they're only there because the dad's the big boss owner, but he's like a complete dick, like misogynist, racist asshole, and they all talk shit about him behind his back, like, we need to take this company from dad and stuff. But then when they get in the boardroom with him, like, nobody can stand up to him, and it's all just a bunch of craziness, but it is amazing. But I wrote devs down because once I'm done with this, I'll need something to go to.
You're saying Succession's on fucking HBO though?
Yeah, Succession.
Wait, so do you watch a lot of HBO? Because I might get it again. I had it like 6 months ago and I canceled my subscription. Is that one show, has season 2 came out yet? The one with John Goodman. Did you watch that one? It's the comedy.
The religious one?
Yeah. The Royal Gemstones.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it.
Do you know if season 2's out? Okay, you got to report back to me, because if season 2's out on that show, I'm fucking getting HBO again. And that is another show you should watch. I thought that shit was funny as fuck. I love Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Fucking, oh god, yeah. It's like Eastbound and Down, but I think better. Like, he's just this rich.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones. That's it. Yep.
No, there's no season 2 yet.
God damn it. Once season 2 comes out, I'm going balls deep in that shit. Boom. What's up?
What time are we at?
I don't know when we started, actually, so I don't know. I still got a little bit I want to go to.
Me too.
Okay. Just a quick update. This isn't a real subject I wanted to get into, but I do want to say ammo is coming back. Tell you what, I'm excited about it. I fucking got 9mm yesterday. Got shotgun slugs, which I was having an issue finding. Fucking 5.6 was stocked on the shelves. Fucking America, buddy.
When the fuck are Clorox disinfectant wipes coming back?
I don't know. I can't help you there.
God damn it.
Boom. I'm throwing little shit at you. Another one. This is there's kind of some backstory to this. It's a joke I've been telling for years, for like probably 5 years now. It's my favorite joke of all time, and it really has less to do with how funny the joke is and how people respond to the joke. Makes it so much funny. It really is just funny for me because I'm a piece of shit and I like making fun of people more than I like, I'm just an asshole a little bit. So there's 2 fish, and these two fish are swimming up a river.
Okay.
And one of them runs into a wall, and the other one goes, "Damn."
Yeah. Nice. I've heard that.
Oh, you have heard that? Okay. Fucking the best thing is that you got to tell that joke to the most serious, like, stubborn person you can. Like, if you find a 60-year-old man that hates life and you tell him that joke, dude, get ready for some comedy gold, because that guy is going to be fucking pissed. Like, it is hilarious to tell that to old people. I'm throwing it out there. Go out, minions, and fucking throw that joke at grumpy old people, and you will laugh. Especially if you sell it. If you sell it and you have to laugh after you tell the joke. That's part of the deal. Is you got to make them irritated that they are sitting there with you.
Right. And then email us, erickandbradshow@gmail.com.
You seem thoroughly upset by that joke.
I've heard it before.
Boom. I have another joke if you want to do it. I don't know if you're against telling jokes. This one's funny, but it is a little, you might have heard this joke too. I'd heard it on a Joe Rogan podcast like a few months ago, and I thought it was the funniest joke I've ever heard.
Is it about the neighbor? Was it
Yeah. Yeah. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
Is it ruined? Should we tell? Is it too bad of a joke?
I don't know. I've heard him tell it like 3 times.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I want to hear it again.
Okay. So I just I had a new neighbor just move in right next to me. And so yeah, I ran into him. I'm out doing yard work, and I'm like, hey man, how you doing? We get to talking, and I ask him like, hey, what do you do for a living? And he's like, oh, I'm a professor of logic down at the new College of Science. Like, professor of logic, what's that? He's like, well, it's easier if I show you rather than just give you a quick explanation for it. I'm like, oh, okay, throw it at me. And he's like, do you own a dog, or do you own a doghouse? I'm like, yeah, I do own a doghouse. He's like, well, logically from that, I can say that you probably have a dog. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, and logically from there, I can say you probably have a kid. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, and logically from that, I can say you probably have a wife. Yeah. He's like, well, from all that information, I can say you're a straight white male, logically. Like, man, that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Like, yeah, that's what I do. Oh, yeah, okay. So the next day, I'm down at the bus stop, and I run into a different neighbor, and we get to talking. He asked me, he's like, hey, have you met the new neighbor? I'm like, yeah. We got to talking the other day, and I was like, man, he's a professor of logic down at the new College of Science. He's like, well, what's that? I'm like, well, it's easier if I show you rather than give you a quick explanation. He's like, okay. I go, you own a doghouse? He goes, no. Well, you must be a faggot.
Oh, God.
I love that joke. It sucks that you've already heard that. I kind of assumed you would have already have heard that, I assume you listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, I'm in the fucking loop.
You're in the loop?
I heard him tell it like 3 times, too.
What else did he tell it on?
I think The Fighter and the Kid.
Oh, yeah, I've never listened to that one.
I could be wrong, though. It could have been a different one. I can't remember. But I think he told it on like their Sober October one.
Yeah. It was all 4 of them. It was Ari and the whole deal.
Right. So yesterday I made my first TikTok.
Oh shit! Like with music?
With like a sound clip.
Wait, where can we find this? Is there? I don't know how TikTok works. Can you like type something in and get to your profile?
That's a good question, because I think the only place that it would be right now is TikTok, because I posted it on Facebook and then deleted it. I was like, this just isn't for Facebook.
I'm excited. I downloaded TikTok and I started fucking with it, and I didn't quite understand how it works, and I got irritated like an old man and fucking put it down. I was like, I'm going back to Facebook. Fuck this.
Just scroll through videos.
But I got that. I was wondering, like, how do you curate your videos? You know what I mean? Like, obviously you can you know what I mean? There has to be a way to navigate, and it's not just, right? Can't you like look at friends' videos or like a channel of videos? You know what I mean? And that's what I didn't understand. I didn't understand how to do it. So I grumpy old manned it and just said, fuck this. I'm going to give it a go. I just,
not seeing anywhere on there that you can search. Actually, maybe if I just Google at Brad Robertson 58 TikTok. That didn't work.
Okay, throw it at me. What did you dance to it, or is it one of those you're like, it's just music in the background?
The whole thing with TikTok is there's like hundreds of millions of sound clips available. Some of them a piece of a song, some of them are someone talking. different things. Some of them is like a clip from a movie. And it's all just sound clips. So what you do is you take one of those sound clips and then you make a video of how you interpret that, like visually, right?
Okay.
And then people copy each other and shit like that. Anyway, so there's this sound clip I heard, and I can play the sound clip if you want.
Okay. Do it. Let's hear it.
Hopefully it works out okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, old son.
What you got there?
Big old ball cat.
So that's the sound clip. And when you find a sound clip that you like, you can see the original video, like that it came from. Because you can also just post original videos. So it can be funny. Someone can post an original video of like their mom yelling, like, "Who's gonna do the fucking dishes tonight?" Whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like a little 10 seconds, and it's just someone filming their mom. But then other people are gonna take that sound clip and make their own videos of them like yelling at their fish or something. Like, "Who's gonna do?"
Yeah.
So that was just a clip of this little tiny kid who had like a fake like airsoft gun kind of thing, and like went to his cat and went pew, because the video starts with the sound pew, and then he goes, "Yep," and he's like, "That's what I'm talking about, old son." And then his dad's like, "What you got there?" And he's like picking up this cat, and he's like, "Big old bobcat." And that's like the original video. But then other people started doing it with like their girlfriend is like sitting by the pool in her bikini, and then they go like pew. And then they go and like pick her up, and they're like, "Big old bobcat." And people would do it with like their dogs and stuff. And I was like, okay, I can do this with Cash Dog. So, and it also started because I was finding my friends on there, because you go like import your contacts and you can see all out of all your contacts in your phone, like who has the TikTok account. And I was looking at their videos, and I'm like, okay, none of their videos are really doing that well. I'm like, I bet you I could make a TikTok that surpasses all of my friends on there and prove that it's not that hard to do. Right? Just as like a one-off thing. So I make this video yesterday with Cash Dog in the backyard of him he's sitting down, I'm next to him, and then I press play, and you get a 10-second timer if you want it. So then it counts down from 10, and so I set my phone up, and then I copy the audio, and I go, "Pew, yep, that's what I'm talking about, old son." And Cash is just sitting in front of me. And then I do the next part where I'm filming it. I like turn my hat backwards, and I'm on my porch, and I say, "What you got there?" And then I go back to him to the backyard, and now I'm holding the dog, and I'm walking up to the camera, and I'm like, "Big old bobcat." And that's it. But guess what? It's really fucking hard to do. It is not easy to do at all. That's what I found out.
What do you mean? You like splicing it, right?
Yeah, well, actually, the hardest thing that I found out for sure was just trying to get an animal to cooperate. That was my cross to bear in that whole video. But then the splicing it too is like, it is some professional editing on the go kind of thing. It's not easy, but I mean, it's on my TikTok if people can find it.
But you don't have like a tag or a username or whatever?
Yeah, it's at Brad Robertson 58.
Oh, did you already say that? And it just passed me over. Oh, my bad.
But maybe I can put it as a link in the YouTube and the audio versions.
Do you want to start a competition on who can fucking do you get views or something like that?
Yeah.
You get views? You want to start a competition on who can get the most views on a TikTok video? Between
me and anybody?
Well, other people could join in, but I'm saying me and you, because I think I could fucking school you at a video.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Okay, well, challenge accepted. We'll fucking do this thing. It might take me more than 1 week because of my fucked work schedule, but I'm fucking, yeah, I'll show you up. Is there a way, do you like tag it in a certain way, or how does it get like out to the world? You know what I mean?
Well, any of your friends on there or whatever can see it. But then the thing is, like, when you just open the app up, the page that you're on is the For You page. And it's kind of like the front page of YouTube for you. Right? When you go onto the front page of YouTube, you see it shows videos that it think that you would like, and then it also throws kind of other ones in there too, which TikTok throws a lot of other ones in there because it's just unlimited amount of going from the one video to the next video to the next of these like 10-second videos. So what they do is then they'll just throw yours up on other people's.
Yeah.
Because right now mine says it has like 160 views, and that's just of it throwing. Because it's kind of like how you said with Facebook, where it's just like it just auto plays and counts it as a view, even if someone watches it for half a second.
Yeah.
So someone probably scrolled. Some people are just probably scrolling past mine constantly.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't look like I'm a rich 14-year-old inside of a $1 trillion mansion with some blonde, big-titted girlfriend and a bunch of Ferraris. And that's
is that what's killing it right now on TikTok?
Yeah, that's what you have to be on TikTok, or like, take your dad's phone and fucking smash it and get 1 million views.
So isn't it the crazies though that are killing it on TikTok? Like the fucking artards and the fucking real weirdos that end up just getting a bunch of traction because people essentially are like making fun of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
So that's the lane you need to go down, is just go full retard. Fucking
dude, there's a crazy, it's just a ridiculously amount of entertainment on there. I mean, I scrolled across one the other day. There's like this black guy in the bathroom with like this crazy spiked hair, and he's wearing swimming goggles, and he's got a gallon of milk on the kitchen, on the bathroom counter, and he's counting rubber bands that he's putting over them. He's going 1, 2, and he's at like 390, and he's putting rubber bands over this gallon of milk, and the gallon of milk is just turning into like a fucking number 8, and he's wearing like goggles and spiked hair, and he's just going like 396, 397, 398, 399, and this gallon of milk is just about to explode. And I mean, it's just real nutty fucking crazy shit.
boom. That's the future, bud. Got to accept it. We're old men now, and we don't understand what this new generation is all about.
It's true. We're living in the future, and it's fucking confusing.
It is very confusing. It's a weird time to be alive. I don't know if I mean, I like it. You know, it's easy to say like, fuck, I wish it was a simpler time there, bud. But fucking, it is interesting. We're seeing some shit, unravel right in front of our face.
I think these things are a bigger problem than they are a help.
I know. Yeah.
Someone email and tell me one good thing about cell phones.
Well, I mean, that's easy. But then really almost any good thing, like right off the bat, you could say having unlimited information at your fingertips. You can Google anything on the fly, which I will say the only thing I really love my phone for is, and especially compared to like old people, is like work, like especially in construction. Like there is so many times that really experience and Google will almost coincide. I don't know how to do something. It'll take me 5 minutes now to understand how it works. Whereas an old guy, just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like he had to have either learned it before, fucking, you can just YouTube, like, how to, it's so many things. And like, in construction, a lot of the kids, it's starting to become a norm, but a few years ago, you could run circles around guys because, you're talking and they're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Literally spend 5 minutes and just be like, oh, you're talking about this, I mean, this is how the sizes work, blah, blah. This is, yeah, they need to go grab a book and go look it up or some shit.
No, that's true.
But other than that, the argument of like having endless information at your fucking fingertips, I would argue is way worse, because really I think what that attributes to is like people don't feel like they need to learn anything anymore. Like it just like makes arguments way worse, because people get in an argument and then they just like, they Google something real quick, like post it, and then be like, oh, you didn't know that, bro? You know what I mean? It's like, go fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Like I know you Googled that, you asshole. Like, that's what I really hate about social media, is like people acting like they know what the fuck they're talking about when 50% of post like that is just them Googling it and then just like, oh, you know.
Right. Well, with the unlimited information at your fingertips, I feel like there's 50% of it's good and 50% of it's harmful, because it's like, say my washer is broken. I can find out how to fix that washer by myself if I'm willing to put in some Google time. But then on the other hand, it's like, let's say you want to find a decision of like, is abortion good or bad, or something like, if the Democrats just pass this stimulus bill, is it a good or a bad thing? You could just sit there for the rest of your life fucking Googling it. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, I guess things that if you're like trying to repair something in your home, it's very useful. But then it's like, if you're trying to come to a decision, you're just going to get a bunch of misinformation. All the misinformation out there about, I don't know.
Yeah. When it comes to anything political, you have 5 million people writing, good-looking blogs or good-looking, ads or news articles. You could find anything you want. You know what I mean? Like any idea that you want to push, you're gonna find millions of people, like well-articulated people, writing about it, and you can be, yep, I knew I was right. You know what I mean? Like, I knew it. I knew I was right.
Right. Yeah, it's fucking confusing and ridiculous.
It's a weird time. I have a story. Do you want secret story time?
Yeah, let me get in story mode. I'm gonna take this thing off because it's fucking hot as shit in here for some reason.
Okay. I'm gonna just get right at it. So the rape story. I don't know if I was talking about the rape story last time. I don't know if I brought up what the story was about. I knew I said I had a story, but I do have a rape story. But I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I'm sorry to if you were looking forward to this rape story, I don't think I can tell the story. I think it's too, like, one, it's not really that funny. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more just
to me. You didn't say it on the show.
I thought at the end I said that. I could have swore we said, okay, maybe not. I get confused about what I said and I haven't said. Yeah. But maybe one day I'll fucking be in the right space. But it kind of talks shit on multiple people, and it's more that than it is a funny story. Like, right. So I decided against it. But I did think of a great story that is really just shitting on me. You'll come to find out, no pun intended. I'll let you take it off.
I'm gonna stoke the campfire. I'm gonna get the food out. I'm getting ready for story time here.
Okay, boom. Okay, this took place when a year and a half after I had moved to Oregon. So I really didn't know that many people yet. I was just kind of working away. So Modest Mouse, as some of you will know, is like my jam. Like, hands that, I got it tattooed. I got multiple Modest Mouse tattoos. Super into Modest Mouse. So they came to Portland, and he lives in Portland, and Portland's already kind of his niche market. You know what I mean? Like, so he's very big in Portland, and he did a back-to-back show. And this was before anybody that knows Modest Mouse. It's right before the new album had came out, but there was hints. And it had been a long time since a new album, any new music had came out from Modest Mouse. But there was hints. They didn't tour for a long time, and then the internet was kind of hinting at new shit. YouTube videos had dropped of, like, backyard recordings of them playing new songs and shit like that.
The year was like 10?
No. This would have been like 4 years ago.
Okay.
4 years ago, maybe. Yeah, something like that. So I wasn't making that good of money at the time. I was framing and fucking, kind of just broke and drinking all the time. And I didn't buy the tickets. And then it came up to the time of the show, and I was like, fuck, the show's like in a week. So I got on Craigslist, and the price were fucking jacked for all the tickets. But I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go to this show. I have to go to this show. So I buy tickets. And I'm on Craigslist talking to this lady, and she's like, just meet me at this bar, right? This bar, blah, 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 the day of the show. It's like across the street from the Crystal Ballroom, which is like the main concert hall in Portland. And I'm new to Portland. Mind you, I'm like new to Portland at this time, and I didn't really ever spend time downtown. So downtown didn't like scare me, but I didn't know my way around like at all. I'd never used the transit system, and there's a MAX system in Portland, which is like a train. You know what I mean? That kind of gets you from place to place. It's a lot faster than the bus system.
Free.
What?
Free, right?
No, you pay for it. It's like $2 for a fucking 2-hour pass or something like that. $5 for a day pass. So, anyways,
Theater.
What's up?
You've been to the Aladdin Theater? I've been there.
No, I don't. I think that's one of the theaters I haven't been to.
Okay, sorry.
I don't think I've been to the Aladdin. So, anyways, day of the show, I get on the Max in Beaverton and fucking ride the Max into Portland, which is like a 20-minute deal. It's not that far away, but you just have to stop. Like 20-minute, half an hour to get downtown. So I go downtown. I meet this girl at a bar, and she's with like 8 people at this bar, and they're cool. And they like ask, they're like, you want to have a beer with us? Blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like in this group of people that I do not know. Like I buy the ticket from her, give her cash. She gives me the ticket, and she's like, you want to have a beer with us? Like, okay. And they were cool people, but I'm like, and this, I do this a lot to where if I'm in a social situation and I'm nervous or I don't know who I'm with, I'll start drinking profusely, just like I will start downing them. And so I start fucking chugging beers, just blah, 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 blah. And I'm not like talking. I'm just like listening to them talk. So I'm just, every fucking second, just putting it up to my mouth. I start getting a good fucking buzz well before the fucking show starts. And then we split off. I get in the show. I'm already fucking pretty much drunk, when the show starts. I go in. It's a sold out show. Both nights are sold out. They'd been sold out for months. So it's fucking packed. I go in the show. I don't know why I did this, but I looked at the merch table they had set up, and there was like some cool shirts there. So I was like, that shirt's going to sell out. I know it's going to, especially in a medium. You know what I mean? That fucking shirt's going to be gone. So I went and bought shirts before the show. Fucking retarded. I don't know why I did that. You know what I mean? So I buy this merch, and then I go into the show. And I'm fucking drunk. Like I am hammered at this point. I remember everything, but I'm fucking hammered when I get into the show. And I'm by myself, which is just weird to be at a show by yourself. I think it's the only time I've ever been by myself at a show. And so I'm in the show. I don't give a fuck. I feel like they didn't even have an opener, or I just don't even give a fuck about the opener. But then they start, and I don't give a fuck who's in my way. I'm going up front. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just how I was like raised with shows and shows used to be this way, it used to be popping. You know what I mean? People danced. So they start playing music, and literally no one in the crowd is fucking moving. Like no one. And Modest Mouse is, you could argue that they're a little lighter, but when they play live shows, they usually pick their like heavy shit to play. They, they'll play Float On. They'll play like their, but even Float On is kind of a dancey song. They won't play their like mellow shit. Usually they'll play like their rowdier stuff to like, and they're playing fun music to like dance to like be at a show for it. And no one's moving. No one in the whole crowd. So I get up to the front, or actually I start pushing towards the front before they, you can tell the show's about to start, like the main act's about to start. I start pushing towards the front, drunk as fuck. So I don't give a shit. Like I don't care if you're blocking me out. I'm going through you. And fucking, I start pushing through people. I get up to the front, and there's a circle of like 17-year-old girls sitting crisscross at a packed fucking show, front fucking row, like sitting in an 8-foot circle, and no one's saying anything to them because they're hot, essentially. You know what I mean? Like, they're these hot little, and their boyfriends are all like, and they're young. Yeah, they're probably over 18, but they're like 18. And all their boyfriends are fucking like standing in a circle, like around them. You know what I mean? And they're all like bros, like big fucking bros. And I see this and I'm drunk and I'm not fucking having it. I feel obligated to be the one to tell these people how fucking gay they are. Like, you're a piece of shit. You know, there's people fucking 100 feet behind you, fucking packed, trying to get up front. And you fucks are sitting here doing a semicircle fucking Indian style at the front row of a show. So I'm like telling all these people off. I'm like, you're fucking pieces of shit.
The show hasn't started yet.
No, but still, what are you doing? Like, you're at the front row of a show, and like, what is happening here? Okay. So these people already hate me. Like, fucking all these people already hate me. The show starts. I'm the only person doing anything, and I'm into it. I'm drunk, and I'm having fun.
They all do this.
Yes, everyone's fucking doing this. I am not doing that. I'm having a blast. I'm like dancing, and I'm not into hardcore dancing. Like, I fucking hate when people do that, but I am into like, bumping, not like shoving people, but I'm going to move my body, and I'm not going to flail, but I'm going to move, and everyone else should be moving. That's a good show. And you still can find shows like that, but as time goes on, shows are getting worse and worse and worse. So I'm the only person in the front row doing this, and I'm like fucking front row. Everyone around me is already mad at me, and they're getting more mad at me. They're fucking pissed that I'm like, in their mind, I guarantee I'm ruining this show for them. And I'm I can scream louder than anyone you've ever heard in your life. Like, hands down, it's a gift I have. I can scream loud. And fucking, when someone's next to me and I scream, every time I do it, they're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, everyone, like, and I get a real, I practice it for years with singing and shit like that. So I'm doing that too, woo, just fucking, and yeah, everyone's mad. And I'm bumping people. I'm fucking telling these people they're fucking pieces of shit. There's a security guard line, in front of the stage, like to where they're all, so you can't get on stage. This old guy, all these security guards are like looking at us, and this older, like I'm assuming kind of like the head of security, I don't know, this old guy fucking points at me, and he's like, you're fucking out of here, and like and he grabs me. Then everyone around me turns on me, and fucking like 8 dudes fucking pick me up and throw me over, and like, I'm fucking pissed. I'm screaming like, fuck you, you fucking pieces of shit. And they all toss me over the edge. And then, so now I'm in the security section, and like 2 guys fucking grab me and fucking start escorting me out of the show. Okay. This is 45 seconds into the first song, dude. Like, I'm getting escorted out of the show, and I am fucking pissed. Like, I'm just fucking flipping everyone off in the front crowd. Like, screaming at these people. And so the way they have it set up is the security line goes along the front of the stage and then just goes straight towards the entrance. And so general admission is on one side, and then 21 and over is on the other side. The reason I was in general admission is because the stage is on that side. And then if you're in the 21 and over section, you're kind of like you're further away. And I didn't want to be further away. I wanted to be up front. So I go walking through the fucking security line. We get to the front door, and I'm like complying with them. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, you need to leave. You're kicked out of the show. We get to the front door. I fucking shove off both of them and then just bolt and fucking run back into the show. And then I weasel back into general admission, and then I'm lost. I'm lost in a crowd of people. I'm safe. I'm in the show now. But now I'm even more mad. I'm just like, this is fucking bullshit. I feel this giant injustice of like rock and roll is being done. Like, I feel like I'm the only true rock and roller here, and these phonies are fucking ruining good music and ruining what used to be a cool thing. So then I just go to the bar and like, fuck it. You know, obvious. I'm not going to have fun now. Fuck this. I'm drunk. So now I'm just going to get more drunk. So I just go sit at the bar, which is a nightmare to begin with because it's just a line of people, you know what I mean, waiting to get drinks. They do not have enough bartenders for trying to get drinks, and they'll only give you two. So I'm literally like getting in line, fucking getting two, and just getting back in line. You know what I mean? And just fucking drinking as I'm sitting there in line. And I just do that the whole time. I remember talking to these two guys, and like, yeah, they by the end of it, they're like, this dude is fucking trashed. And I was trashed. I'm probably was being a bigger asshole than I'm making it out to be. Like the whole reason I got kicked out. But in my mind, I wasn't being that fucking crazy. I was drunk, but fuck that. If you're not going to dance, don't fucking go up front. You know what I mean? You go to the back. You don't just get to stand there. So anyway, show's done. Fucking show gets over. I've lost all my shirts now at this time. Everything I was carrying in my hand is now gone. So I wasted all the money that I had brought there. I'm like out of money. Wasted every dollar I brought. I brought like $200 with me, $250 with me. Fucking waste, all gone. My phone now is down to fucking like 2%. And I don't really know where I'm at. And so I'm just on a I just have to get back to the max. You know what I mean? I know if I get to the max, I know which max I need to be on. It will take me directly to my house. So I'm like, dude, I remember walking down the street and I remember doing like just the zigzag. I was having the hardest time like walking a straight line. I was fucking hammered. And I smoked pot right after I got out of the fucking venue. And so then I'm double fucked up. Just like, yeah. So using Google Maps to find my way back to the Max station. The second I get to the Max station, my phone shuts off. It's dead. And whatever, I'm on the Max. I'm safe. Phone's dead. Out of money. Blah, blah, blah. It's kind of cold outside. It's like probably 55 degrees outside, which is like helping me maintain, you know, with it being so cold. Like not that cold, but it's keeping me cool. I get in the Max. And it's like fucking 80 degrees in the Max, dude. And the second I walk in, I'm like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? I cannot do this. I get on the Max, sit down, and the spins hit instantly. Like bad spins. I am so fucking drunk. And the spins have hit so hard. And I'm stoned on top of it. It's just the worst scenario you could ever be in. Like and I can't even like look. So I just like sit back, and within about 2 minutes, I have to shit so bad. Like I have like diarrhea building up. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're just drinking beer all night?
Yeah, all beer. And I believe I was mixing, like I had some Hefeweizens, had some like pale ales, and then it switched like Coors at the end of the night. And then like at the bar, I think I ate some French fries. So it was just like this bad mixture of fucking.
Is any of that IPA?
Yeah, I believe I had some Sierra Nevadas when I was at the bar. I believe I had some Sierra Nevada, like an IPA-esque type beer. So I'm in the Max. I'm miserable. One of the worst days of my life. Like it was so bad, and I have to shit. Like it is uncomfortable. And I don't know what to do. I'm like, you know when you're like super drunk like that, but you can still think, but like you've lost all control of your body. Like you just can't. You're just like you can think about how fucked you are. You know how fucked you are. You just can't do anything about it. And so I'm on the train. I'm sitting next to like two good-looking girls who were like out partying, and they're like they're talking, and they're sitting right next to me, and they're like ha ha ha, and I'm just fucking like just having the worst night. So I know that the Max, I'm pretty sure I'm on the last Max that goes out until 5 a.m. Like I'm pretty sure I'm on the last train to go.
There's no jump off and grab the next one.
Well, and my phone's dead. So in my mind, I'm like, I could get off the train, I could take a shit.
Yeah.
And then I could call a buddy, but my phone's dead. And so I can't call anybody to come pick me up. And like, I don't know anybody's phone number off the top of my head, so I can't like borrow someone's phone to ask. So I'm just fucked. And I don't want to get off the train because I'm pretty far away from my house, and I don't even know how to get back there. You know what I mean? Like other than like getting on the main highway and walking, you know, which is essentially a freeway, which I'm not gonna do. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna fucking happen. Or I'm just gonna go sleep in a ditch or something all night long. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I have to stay on this train. I have to. It's the only option. But I have to shit so fucking bad. Like, dude, like I can't explain to you like how miserable this situation was. And like on top of that, I can hardly move anyways. And dude, I have to shit. Like I have to.
This is why you go with a buddy.
Yes, someone that can save your life. And like, dude, oh man. So I just give up, dude. I just fucking give up. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I don't give a fuck. This is the worst situation you could ever be in. I don't care. I don't fucking care. I'm over the point of caring. I mean, I'm so miserable right now. I just let it go. And I'm just like, don't care. Just fucking don't care. These girls are sitting next to me and fucking, dude, it smells so fucking bad.
It's disgusting. Dude. We are definitely like the complete opposite of concert goers for sure.
Dude, so dude, I'm holding it, dude. I've been holding it for like just this. My stomach hurts from tensed up, like clenching my asshole, like and I just like I give up. I'm just like I don't care, and I just relax, and then I kind of pass out within like 30 seconds. Like that happens. I can smell it. And the two girls next to me get up and fucking take off. You know what I mean? Like fucking, it's just the other side. I clear that whole side of the train out. I had no option. I couldn't do anything. So then I pass the fuck out, and then I'm getting woken up. Like some guy is shaking me, and he's like, like wake up, and he's like, you need to get off the fucking train. He's like, this is the last stop. Luckily, I didn't even know this, but my stop where I was in Beaverton, at a certain time, it becomes the last stop. So luckily, I didn't go all the way into Hillsboro and get kicked off, you know, almost an equal distance away from my house again. And fucking, I wake up and get off the train and go walking, and then it all kind of like comes back to me, like everything that just happened. And I'm like, oh no, like, fuck. And dude, so I like check myself. I hadn't shit myself. I don't even know what had happened there. But when I was on the train, I would have bet you $1 million I'd shit myself. Like, but I guess it was just a fart that I had played out in my head as being wet. It was going to come out wet. And fucking, so I guess the worst fart that felt wet. And I remember like feeling my pants like change. Like, I'm like, oh, I just shit myself. Like, holy shit, I just shit myself. Fuck it. And I didn't. I like check myself as I'm walking back and like nothing. Clean hands. I'm just like, I don't know what just happened there. And then so that's the whole story. And then I fucking walk home, go to sleep, and then it became the story.
Is crazy. I side with you on the people should, you know, dance a little kind of thing. And I've been to more hip hop shows than I have rock shows, and that just, you can imagine that's way worse of people just standing there like robots, right? Because it's like whoever dances first a little bit is the least cool amount of person there, and the guy who stays still the longest is the coolest. That's kind of the vibe of the whole show, which is
so dumb.
I think you fucked yourself by being on the general admission side, because they're like, who is this drunk adult in the family section kind of thing?
You're at Modest Mouse. The problem is I've been to Modest Mouse 4 times. That last time was the last time I'd gone.
Yeah.
Is they got popular in like the wrong section of music. Like in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were popular with like grungy guys and like fucking my generation, you know, like my crowd. And then Float On came out. You know what I mean? And fucking they did Float On, The Ocean Breathes Salty, and a few other songs that got the most radio play.
Right.
And fucking it got played on pop, poppy, fluffy stations because it
Right.
kind of is poppy, fluffy music. But there is a whole back catalog of Modest Mouse that isn't that way. That's
Right.
darker, a lot darker, a lot darker music. And
It was
fucking,
like, we're going to play Modest Mouse. And then after that, some Blink-182. Everybody stay tuned.
yeah. And so the first shows I'd went to wasn't like the first Modest Mouse show I went to, dude, was one of the best shows I'd been to. Everyone in the crowd was moving and having a blast. And yeah, but it's not only that, it's, the crowd, it's also just the times. It's just what's happening with new music.
Yeah.
People are, they're fucking like disconnected. They're living through their social media. They're not living in the moment.
No, they're like this, but their eyes are right here.
I fucking dare you to fucking just leave if you're going to go do something, like I'm guilty of it, but if you're going to go do something that's an experience, leave your phone. First off, no one gives a fuck about the picture you take. No one cares. Like, no one cares.
Right. No one's like, Erick got such good fucking video of this show from the 12th row.
Yeah, exactly. No one gives a shit. So just go enjoy yourself. Have fun. Instead of like living for these pictures you take.
Right.
It's such a, and I'm guilty of it. I've done it. I really try not to do it, but just leave your phone. Have you heard about, I don't know much about it, but I remember Joe Rogan talking about it when him and Dave Chappelle started doing these big shows. They're like doing something for that. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, there's like the company that manufactures the pouches that you put your phone in before you go in, and it's like one-time use. You have to cut them open like with scissors at the end. It's not like a Ziploc, and everyone puts their phones in there as they walk in. And like there's like a lady, like a checker, like a coat checker, but it's like a phone checker, and then keeping everyone's phones. So then when you leave, they give them back to you, and you rip.
Oh,
the bag.
You have to give your phone up.
Yeah.
You can't. Okay. That I didn't know exactly how it worked. I was like, sweet. Thank you. And that's how it needs to be. Like every show needs to start doing that. Because fuck that.
Emergency. If there's an emergency in the middle of the phone, you can just go over to the lady and say, I need my phone right now. And she'll give it to you.
Yeah. Or, go, if there's an emergency, go find security, or something. Like, do it like they used to do before 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Go find a fucking phone. Like,
yeah, I remember. I've looked up old concerts, like an old Queen concert or something, and it's like the one thing that's standing out to me here is like everybody's paying attention and there's no phones anywhere. It's like, whoa, this is weird. Because now it's all when they're filming professionally from the back, all you just see is all the phone lights. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, we got to see it. Like, that didn't. I was at multiple shows where phones weren't a thing yet. Right. I saw Petty in 07 or 06. And even though phones were out, it wasn't what it is now. It didn't really, what it is now took hold at I would say 2012. You know what I mean? When shit started really going downhill.
Yeah. And because I've done it, I've been like, okay, I want a little bit of footage from this show. So I'll be like, of this hour-long show, I'll give myself 3 times to shoot a couple seconds of a video. And I'll take my phone out and do it for a couple seconds and then put it away and wait another 20 minutes or something like that. And then do it again for just a couple seconds. But you don't need a long video.
I don't get how people don't feel like fucking assholes. I feel like a fucking dick if I hold my phone up. What a piece of shit, entitled piece of shit you think you are. Not only that you think that you need that clip, you're blocking views from behind you. You know what I mean? No one wants to see your fucking phone, in front of their face. Yeah,
but and it's you and 2,000 other people. Do we really need 2,000 angles of this? But anyway, so there was a time in 2014 where there was a live podcast, a podcast that I like a lot. They were doing a live show at the Aladdin Theater in Portland, and I was in Sandpoint, Idaho. So I bought I bought 2 tickets, and I was trying to find someone who wanted to go with me, and nobody wanted to go with me, which is fine because it's different than like a show. Like we're going to like a, say Modest Mouse show. You're going to have a lot of fans, but for just like a podcast, it's kind of a weird thing to go when you don't know about them, I guess. So I understood that nobody wanted to go. So I'm like, I'm just going to go solo. And it was, it was a really crazy 24-hour period. I had a buddy in the Tri-Cities that I wanted to stop by and say hi to. So I left my house at 7 a.m. in the morning that day, drove to Tri-Cities, hung out with him for an hour, drove to Portland, got to Portland like 4 hours before the show. And the Aladdin Theater, there's a bar like kind of in the lobby, but it's like an attached bar. So there's an entrance through the bar into the theater, and then there's like an entrance just into the theater. So it's like an attached bar. So everyone hangs out there beforehand. I'm hanging out with all these people. I'm having a couple IPAs with just other people, and we're talking. They're from the Oregon coast, so I'm talking to them, whatever. But I have like 3 of these IPAs, and they're like high alcohol fucking percentage. So I feel like I get a little drunk, and then I see this show, and then after the show, I walk out of the theater, beeline it straight to my car, and drive straight back to Idaho, and get back to Idaho at 7 a.m. So it's like this 24-hour period of like an 8-hour drive, 8 hours there, and 8 hours back. It was craziness. And the only
weird
was the Aladdin Theater. Just there, saw the show, back in the car, back to Idaho.
That is weird. Did you have to go to work or something like that?
It was like a Saturday night show. So I left it. So I worked Monday through Friday, but I did 7 a.m. Saturday morning, saw the show, back at 7 a.m. Sunday morning.
Huh. Crazy.
Mission accomplished. Yeah, and there's this other thing I was almost going to bring up today, but I found myself in the last few years like getting really mad when having to babysit drunk people. Now,
yeah.
I didn't used to be that way. And the thing is, I feel very because this happened a couple weeks ago. I feel very hypocritical when I start feeling angry at them because I've been that person plenty of times, right? Where you need to be babysat.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm having to babysit a drunk person who's just fucking completely being a fucking douchebag because he got too drunk, then I start getting really mad. I'm just like, fuck you. Like, we're not friends anymore. Like, I get to that point. Like, if I would have been with you that night, I would have been like, fuck this, dude. I'm not his friend anymore. He is a fucking asshole. But the thing is, you're just too drunk, and it's just like, and I do recognize in the moment that I'm wrong for feeling that way. Wrong for feeling angry at them.
I feel what you're saying. Some people are better alcoholics than other people. You know what I mean? Some people are better drunks than other people. I find it, as sexist as this is going to come off, I find women are usually a lot harder to deal with when they're drunk than men are. But some men are equally as fucking ridiculous when they're drunk. Like, I will say, I'll defend myself. I'm a pro drunk. I've always been a pro drunk. I mean, other than getting the spins, that's not my fault. I'm not a silly drunk. I think from what I'm getting, what you're saying is just silly drunk. That's what pisses me off when people are like stupid drunk, when they're coherent of like what they're doing, but they're just like being like when they're yelling and you're like, dude, we have to be quiet. And they're like, fuck you, man. It's like,
no, there's that. And then if they start getting violent, then I'm like, dude, fucking knock it off, dude. It's not worth it. Like, because people do this dumbest shit. Like, that guy's looking at me. You see that fucking guy over there looking at me? I'm gonna go fucking. And it's like, dude, sit down. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I start thinking in the moment, I'm like, why can't we just sit around like gentlemen and just debate like Tarantino movies or music or something, or just sit here like gentlemen and just debate things instead of running around, falling, getting your face smashed into the concrete, fucking running down the street like a bunch of children. But the thing is, it's very hypocritical because I've been just as shitty as they have been, right? I don't know. I just noticed this thing over the past few years where I start getting angry at the friends when I have to babysit.
Well,
And
no,
more of a problem with me, you know, and I don't know.
Well, okay, totally. As I 100% agree with that. But then also, I mean, maybe even more so with me, I might feel this way because I tend to hang out with a lot of older people. Like, probably my best friend here in Oregon is like 55. Fucking love the guy. You know what I mean? Like, we're really good friends. And fucking, like, I tend to be friends with people that are older. And like, if I go to a bar, like, I'll go downtown. I've been to a few of the clubs downtown. Like, there's a place called Splash Bar downtown Portland. I want to fucking kill myself. It's all like 21 to 30-year-old people. They're just the worst of the worst people. And it's all just clubby music playing. Like, I want to go sit in a fucking dive bar. You know what I mean? I want to go sit down at a table. I don't want this fucking packed at a fucking bar trying to get a drink. I don't know. That's my speed, is like having conversation with people. And I feel like, I guess it's who I surround myself with, but I feel like if you're an adult, like, we're probably, you know, we're getting to the age of like, if you go drink with someone and they get stupid, it's ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can get drunk, you can get wasted drunk, and you can talk, and you can kind of be an idiot just with the conversation you're having. But if you turn into a fucking fighter, you know what I mean? Or fucking being loud and obnoxious, like crazy loud and obnoxious, or
Yeah.
whatever, fucking knocking things over or something like that, you're a piece of shit. Like, you should have learned that in your 10 years, you know, of being an adult. Like, then you get like, that's what's kind of cool about just getting older and being in bars, is because you kind of just weed those people out. You know what I mean? Like, if you're at an older dive bar with regulars, fucking, they just 86 them. You know what I mean? The second they walk in a bar, you're like, get the fuck out of the bar. You know what I mean? You're not allowed in here. And then it's cool. You know what I mean? It's funny when you go hang out at an older bar, that shit doesn't, I mean, it happens once in a while, but you can have 40 people hammered and nothing happens. You know what I mean? Yeah, it gets a little loud, music gets turned up, but you know, you don't get the guy fucking, you know, once in a while a fight, but everyone just keeps their cool. Whereas you go downtown, you go hang out with all these 21-year-olds, there's a fucking fight every 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, fucking.
Ugh. Yeah, and I mean, the problem is when it's your buddy and he gets 86 and he's completely blacked out, fucked up, and now you're out on the street and now you're trying to contain everything.
Yeah.
And because you're the more sober one, so you're trying to babysit, like, dude, let's go, and shit like that. And it's like just spills out into other things, and you're like, why won't this fucking asshole just pass out already? I really hold it against them, and I don't know if I'm correct in doing that or not. Because I know I can be just as much of a drunk asshole just yelling about nonsense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say, you know, plug it into what I just said. Is it the former or the latter? You know what I mean? Are they truly being a fucking piece of shit, or are they just drunk? You know what I mean? Like, and if they're being a piece of shit, yeah, fuck that. You are completely right to be irritated.
Right.
Like, but I mean, I would say all my older friends, I could be stone sober and they could be hammered. And I might get irritated with how dumb the conversation is. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to get irritated like I feel like I have to babysit them. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I might just be like, why are you repeating yourself? You know what I mean? That would be my irritation. Like, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. Let's talk about something a little deeper now. Like, fucking, other than, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Right. I guess you get to that point where, you know, you get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm getting a buzz. I'm having a good time. I'm drunk. I'm getting more drunk. I'm getting more drunk. And then you kind of can see, okay, I'm about to cross into the point where I need a lot of help and I need to be babysat, and I'm going to bring it back a little bit. And then some people just don't have that, and they just fucking go until they have to be carried. Right.
Yeah.
So that's just I guess.
It's weird for me to, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I remember this whole thing, but I honestly don't even think that way anymore. I'll just say, like, my group and me, I'm a fucking alcoholic. So it's like, I'm a pro. Like, I haven't been in that situation in so long. You know, it's just like, I'm a pro drinker. Like, I don't get that way. I can get fucking hammered and I'm good. You know what I mean? Like I'm not being weird at all.
You weren't good that night though.
That was but no, but I dude, honestly,
You kind of needed a babysitter.
When I say like, dude, I guarantee you even half the amount of beers, I would have done the same fucking thing. Like, I really feel that way. I don't think I was unjustified with what I did. Maybe I'm playing it back in my head wrong, but I feel like when I get super drunk, I remember how things went down pretty spot on. And I remember what happened there. I was just, I was around the wrong fucking people when I got kicked out. As far as the getting kicked out of the concert part, like it was just a bunch of bros that don't like my kind, don't like, they're fucking, like frat boys, and they're like girlfriends. And I pissed off all their girlfriends, calling them, I probably dropped cunts on them. You know what I mean? Like probably. And to me, I'm justified in that. Like to this day, I feel like I'm justified in being an asshole to these people. Fuck those people. And but but I guess I don't understand the security guard. But when I replay it in my head, I feel like the security guard was kind of one on like a power trip. Like he just wanted to wanted to feel like he was doing something. Like because if 20 or 30 people were having as much, moving like I was, I wouldn't have gotten kicked out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just this single fucking guy, just like, and I'm just sticking out. Now all the security guards are watching me because everyone else is fucking, doing the fucking walking woke thing.
Right. No, that's a good.
I don't know. Maybe I was. Maybe I'm a piece of shit.
Maybe. I don't know. I would have just hung out in the back because you're like, you got to, if you're in the front, you should be dancing. If you don't want to go to the back, I stay in the back and then have a good time,
Yeah. And that's what you should do. If you want to go have a little Indian circle, go fucking to the back of the club and or back of the venue and go do it there.
Yeah. You want to wrap it?
Let's wrap it up. I feel like we probably just did a really long episode.
I can't tell.
I think we're at 2.5 hours. I think that's where we're at. I don't know. We'll find out. It's 10:30 right now. I believe we started at 8.
Well, I will try to link that TikTok video for everybody in wherever you get the show. I'll try to put a link in there somewhere, and I'm open to competition. After I filmed it, I was like, that is one and done for me. I'm done. That was it for me because I thought it was going to be a lot easier, and it wasn't. So I was like, that's it. But if anybody wants to try to top me, I'll do it.
Or has, if anybody comes up with, an idea for competition, I would love that. Not necessarily the TikTok, anything along that line. We can stick with the TikTok thing for a little bit. I think it'd be fun for me, if they don't want to do it, suggest that me and you either themes or what we, blah, blah, blah. Throw it at us. So, yeah, Erick and Bradshow at gmail.com. I always forget if there's a the at the beginning or not. I'm pretty sure it's just Erick, ERICK, and Bradshow at gmail.com. And any like or share or telling your friend about it is greatly appreciated. I hate saying that, but it is greatly appreciated. We love you guys.
We'll have a guest next week, but if any competition, let's try to. I'm down to do it because I know for a fact I'm not gonna lose, right? I'm gonna win, but let's just try to make it like kind of a solo thing that I don't have to go out and be around other human beings. And I'm
okay.
Of it.
Okay. Well, we love you guys. Yeah, the guest thing kind of fell through. We'll have a guest next week. I was gonna bring this up. I don't want to keep dragging this Randy Weaver thing out at all. I feel like we have done
you do
way too much fucking shit about this, but I do feel like Vince would like a rebuttal on the bet. And so I don't know if we ever want to bring Vince back in on this to at least justify the bet, or because Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I mean, even if next week you want to do a double thing.
Well, I mean, do you maybe want to do this real quick now? See if we can get him on. Take a break and get him on.
Yeah, we can.
Do a tenor with him.
He might be in the middle of a long distance commute right now.
No,
but
he texted me. I texted. He's in Idaho right now.
Okay.
And he woke up. He texted me like an hour ago.
We can try it out, and if it doesn't work, we'll come back on and just wrap it up real quickly.
Okay, boom, rock and roll. Be back, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. Little change of plans. I don't know why. Okay, a little bit of a change of plans. Because of the bet that went on last week about Ruby Ridge that we were talking about, which is Vince here, who is in the podcast now. And then also we kind of brought in a mediator, Soyer, because he was present when this bet was created. And I know Vince is going to pull some bullshit. So I need someone else here to go over this. So, so let's introduce everybody. This is Soyer.
How's it going, guys?
And this is old Vince motherfucking Loaf. Oh my God. And then he fucking kicks out right when we get to introduce him. They are on phones sitting in trucks. There he is. He's back. Say hi, Vince.
Hello, everybody.
So what had happened, we mentioned it a little bit on the last podcast, is me and these two guys and a few other guys were all in a Xbox party, and I was going, it was before, it was the episode before the last one. I had brought up Ruby Ridge. It started a big argument. I will say I was a little drunk, but I wasn't drunk. I was just like 4 beers deep. So I remember everything, just a little hazy because it was late at night. But there was a $50 bet placed by Vince, and now I think we almost need another bet placed over what the original bet was even placed about. So let's get some sides here. What do you think happened, Vince? Are you there? Are you frozen?
Jesus.
God damn it. Okay, so
I keep getting kicked, and I have 0 video over here, and I don't know why.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and do mine. So I believe what the bet was about is we were talking Ruby Ridge. This is before I got balls deep on all the details. Was the original bet was like Randy Weaver didn't know that the police were like coming after him, that it was just a surprise to him when they showed up at his property, and that's when the set-in started. And I'm saying we placed a $50 bet on that, and I was saying no, he knew full well that he needed to go to court, blah, 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 and he just said fuck you to everybody and didn't deal with anything, and then the set-in started. That's where I believe the bet was placed, and now Vince is flip-flopping. So let's hear Vince's side.
Well, I'm not flip-flopping anything. My only point in it was the clerical error that happened where Randy Weaver got a summons for court with a date on it a month after they issued him a bench warrant.
Okay.
That was my bet. I didn't say that he didn't know that he had to go to court. I'm not saying he didn't know that the cops were watching him. I didn't say any of that. What I said was the court summons that Randy Weaver was in possession of, which his lawyer also knew about, which is also something that was brought up in court to the judge, is that the court summons that he received had the date of, I believe, March 20th, where they actually had changed the date to February 20th.
But do you feel like that was an intentional thing on them to fuck him over?
No.
I would say probably not. But still, when you have clerical error due to a court date, most of the time that court date is dismissed, and there's a retrial.
Right.
The fact that it was brought up and they a bench.
I've actually had this happen to me. I've had not a day switch, but I've had a time switch. I had a lawyer, and I showed up late to court, and they had moved me to a different block of court. And the judge got all pissed, and she's like, "Why are you here?" And I'm doing a preliminary hearing, and she's like, "Why are you here? You're not on the docket." And she's like, "You missed your court date." And then my lawyer chimed in and is like, "There was a issue, blah, 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 blah. There was an issue. He never received word that he was supposed to be, that the scheduling got moved, blah, blah, blah." And that was it. And the judge is like, "Oh, okay. No bench, obviously you're not going to get in trouble for this. Honest mistake, blah, blah, blah." And he never did any of that. So, but this isn't even my argument. That would just be my argument to that. But let's get Sawyer. How do I want the bet? That's what I'm focused on.
Oh,
What is going on with the bet? Who won the bet?
So when it came to the bet, from what I understood is that, because I was the one that suggested that both of you sides doing a decent amount of research into the court dates, and then what the initial bet I think originally was if he was summoned to go to court before the stuff went down in Ruby Ridge.
Okay, so who do you think won?
Doing your guys both hearing both of your guys' research, I honestly would say Beeves won, because he was summoned to go to he was summoned to go to court before Ruby Ridge happened, and He never showed up, and all the other conflict broke out in between that time of the other summons he got to show up, a month after Ruby Ridge took place.
I'm so confused.
Okay, any rebuttal there, Vince? I see you stewing.
I don't know why I would place a bet on something that I know is factually incorrect. I guess that's my only side of it.
That's what I took out of the bet between you guys, and then that's when I piped in, listening to you guys going back and forth. I was like, well, there needs to be you need to have 3 out of 5 resources that prove both your sides on, then combining information on who would win the bet. And it was, if there was a court date that he was summons to before Ruby Ridge took place that initially engaged the whole in everything before even his son was shot, chasing after the FBI agents.
And I do want to point out, we should have brought another one in, but I didn't want to get this crowd too full, or this lobby too full. But Cody also sides with me, is from what he said last night. He said that he thinks I won. So now we're 2 people out of the 5 people in the party are thinking I won the bet.
I mean, if they think you won the bet, I'll totally pay up if that's how it goes.
But shouldn't it be that there's no opinion of who won the bet? We have the history. It's already been played out.
That's my thing. It's why? That's like making a bet on what color my truck is and saying the wrong color.
Honestly, I was confused because I felt like we were betting over something a little differently out of the get-go. And I feel like right after we got out of the party and we started talking about it later in time, shit just changed. And then I was like, am I crazy? Was I wrong here? But I didn't even feel like we were arguing over the clerical error of the dates. I felt we just the initial bet was, I feel like the way it was worded and what we were arguing about that day was, did he know this shit was going down before they went up to the property? I feel like that day we didn't even talk about a date change thing at all. We were just, you were like, he didn't know that that any of this was even happening. And I was like, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, it was like a 16-month standoff before even the FBI got involved. I mean, I feel like you're saying I'm arguing every other point that you've brought up, and I haven't argued any of that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, all I'm saying is I feel like the bet was made that he didn't know that he had like anything. He had to be in court, any of that shit. And they just like started showing up at his property and he didn't even know what was going on. Like, what do you mean I'm supposed to be in court? And I'm saying, no, he knew full well that all this stuff was taking place way before any of that.
Months before that, he'd already told the ATF to fuck off several times. I mean, I'm not disputing any of that at all. The whole premise, the way I viewed the bet, was that there was a court summons issued a month before the date on the summons that Randy Weaver had. That was my whole side of the argument.
Well, I don't know where we go from here, but I guess if there's any more bets on anything, we need to get on Zoom and record the original bet so that we can bring it back up in time. Because now it's lost. Now it's just lost in he said, she said type deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, what I remembered on the bet was if he knew about having to be in court before Ruby Ridge took place.
Yes, that was the bet.
That's initially what I remembered the bet being.
Where do you want to draw the line as to where Ruby Ridge took place? Because then there's like I said, like a 16-month standoff before the FBI even showed up, where they say the original, what was it, an 11-day siege is what they called it.
Jesus.
When the actual standoff took place?
Yeah, after the FBI showed up.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, I guess I would say the sit-in started when the bench warrant took place. And you could argue the error there, but the thing that's funny about it is that Vicky wrote a letter to the state, before the bench warrant was placed, saying, fuck you. So they knew. That's like proof that they knew what was going on. They knew the change date.
Right.
So,
right. That's where Randy Weaver believed what he said was that he believed that his shot at a fair trial was out the window.
Okay, but I'm just saying that's not the bet. The bet was, did he know?
No, yeah,
and Vicky wrote the letter.
Right.
So I win.
I mean, if you want to view yourself as winning, I'll totally pay you.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me feel like, yeah, whatever.
Dude, if you feel like you won the bet, I'll pay you. Like I said, that's like betting on my truck color and telling you the wrong color.
Right.
Okay. How do you feel about this, Brad? I know you weren't part of the bet, but how do you feel about what's transpiring here?
I mean, no, I wasn't a part of the bet. I feel like originally hearing the bet, it was like you bet on something that that's not a debate. It's not like, oh, let's bet on who the president's going to be and let's see it play out. You bet on something that happened in 1993. And then, like Vince just said at the beginning of this, why would I bet on something that's not a non-debatable fact?
So,
in reference to that, though, not both sides had all the information that you both have now.
Yeah, so it's mainly putting a bet on who's a fucking retard or not. And he's saying, I'm a retard. And I'm saying, he's a retard. So
you guys really...
I'm not saying you're a retard, Beach.
I'm just kidding. I know that's not what we're saying. But I mean, that's the...
You were like, we'll bet on this, then we'll sign off, we'll go Google it, and we'll figure out who remembered.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like both of you a week later had like 5 times more information on both sides than we did in that argument on Xbox Live.
Right.
And can I just point out that the reason that the entire argument started is that I said before Beeves has statements like that about things that actually happened, you should probably do a little research.
Right.
Okay.
That's what started the whole argument in the first place.
I don't even know where we're at. I feel like I won, but he feels like he won. And if he, then he's going to play this, like, I don't know, martyr card. And it, like, if he pays me the $50, it's going to be with this undertone of like, I'm paying you, you fucking, you peasant. Like fucking.
You brought a mediator on. You brought a mediator on, and he's siding with you. And I'm then saying I would agree to pay you. How is that being a martyr?
You're doing it with like a tone of like, you know, you're doing it with a Randy Weaver tone of like this unfair, just bullshit system.
And with that Randy Weaver tone, am I going to be acting in self-defense?
Yeah, I see you got your bow already prepared in the back.
Oh, dude, you don't even know what's in this fucking pickup right now. I haven't unpacked yet.
Well, boom, rock and roll. I think we're good to go.
Okay.
So, it was good having you guys on.
Shoot me your PayPal information.
Boom. We'll do it. We'll deal with it at a later date on Xbox Live.
I don't have Xbox, bro.
We'll deal with it later.
You're gonna have to send me a carrier pigeon.
Well, rock and roll. Thanks for being on, guys. Yeah, it was good.
Word. Take it easy, fellas. Have a absolutely wonderful day.
You too.
Bye.
Okay. Look at that. 2 guests at once. Boom.
Boom. We got a new milestone.
I guess I understand a little more now. That kind of helped clarify for me. I mean, I think we've just exhausted this Randy Weaver thing.
I know. I didn't even want to bring, I'm done with the topic, but I did, I felt like it was good closure to it, even though I still feel like Vince totally disagrees with it. But I felt like it was good for the show to wrap it all up.
Yeah, it makes sense. A bunch of guys were together. They made a bet saying we're disagreeing on history. Let's leave from where we are now and do some research and figure out who was right. And I feel like you learned a lot more about Ruby Ridge in your research, right?
Yeah.
And Soyer agreed with you, and he was there, that you were right. This guy knew that the FBI was coming before they came. And if Vince really made that bet of he had no idea and he was just blindsided, we can see that that was wrong. Now, we were just trying to see if that's actually the bet that happened. But whatever. You guys can do double or nothing on the next thing that you talk about in Xbox Live or whatever. Or you can just take your $50 and go buy yourself something nice. I don't know. I do think that was closure. It's been closed now.
It's been closed. We the wrap it up box.
Yeah, for sure. Well, erickandbradshow@gmail.com, erickandbradshow@gmail.com. The TikToks are in the descriptions of wherever you're listening or watching.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Monday, dog ran away. Tuesday, sitch between the legs. And someday, it will go away. Mom called 401k, took it out on a Wednesday, but Thursday, it all went away. for you to change my mind.